In the ancient Greek world, there was a belief in the afterlife, the dark, shadowy underworld of Hades, where the souls of men went after death. Besides this, there was another place, Elysium, a sort of paradise, where the few heroes or the exceptionally pure were rewarded. There is a sort of instinct among most reasonable men that life continues after death, and yet there is a consciousness that most men are imperfect and have many faults and failings. Are they worthy of an eternal reward, deserving of eternal punishment? Where do they go? The Church teaches us that God is absolutely holy, perfect, pure, and that nothing unclean can appear before his sight. There shall not enter into it, that is heaven, anything defiled, or that worketh abomination, or that lieth, as it says in the book of the Apocalypse. And Christ shall sanctify the church, cleansing it by the laver of water in the word of life, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish, St. Paul says in Ephesians. And which of us is without sin? The consoling doctrine of purgatory is the answer. There is a middle state between heaven and hell. The souls who depart this world in the state of grace, but without perfect love of God, without having satisfied for all the temporal debt of their sins, that is, without having adequately done penance, will be purified by suffering in purgatory until they enter into heaven without spot or wrinkle. The Council of Florence in 1438 states it in these terms: if those who are truly penitent depart from this life in the charity of God, before they have made satisfaction for their sins of commission and omission, their souls are cleansed by purgatorial sufferings after death. But those alive on earth can help those suffering in purgatory who can no longer merit for themselves, as is attested to by the constant tradition of the Church and again by the aforementioned Council. The suffrages of the living, namely the sacrifice of the Mass, prayers, alms deeds, and other works of piety which the faithful have been accustomed to offer for each other according to the established usages of the Church, are profitable to those departed souls for the relief of their sufferings. Inscribed on the tombs of the ancient Roman Christians, we find pleas for prayers. The book of Maccabees tells us that Judas Maccabeus, having found stolen idols in the cloaks of some of his fallen soldiers, an offense against the law, betaking themselves to prayers, besought God that the sin which had been committed might be forgotten. But the most valiant Judas sent 12,000 drachmas of silver to Jerusalem for sacrifice to be offered for the sins of the dead, thinking well and religiously concerning the resurrection. At each Mass, the priest pauses a moment at the second memento to pray for the dead, that they be delivered from purgatory and enter into eternal bliss. And what could be more efficacious to satisfy for sin and bring down the mercy of God upon these souls than the renewal of the sacrifice of the Lamb of God upon the altar? Various are the stories of souls returning to appear on earth, begging for prayers to be delivered. The Church is a mother, and she wants to do everything she can for her children, having compassion on both those living and dead. So during this first week of November, Catholics can gain a plenary indulgence for the poor souls by visiting a cemetery and praying for the dead. What a great act of mercy for those who can do nothing for themselves any longer. So enter into this spirit of charity for our departed brethren, imploring that Christ may receive our sacrifices and prayers on behalf of these souls and deliver all the faithful departed from the pains of purgatory, led by Saint Michael into the holy light.